The Falling Plate event requires a competitor to shoot 48 rounds at 8-inch steel plates from distances ranging from 10, 15, 20, and 25 yards. There will be 6 8-inch steel plates placed 1 foot apart edge to edge that will be 4 feet above ground level to the bottom edge. The starting position will be with the firearm holstered, both hands held shoulder high. The starting signal will be somebody saying "shooter ready, stand by," followed by a whistle or a horn. A penalty of 10 points and 1 X will be charged for a premature start, for each procedural error, and for each round fired over the designated number. Competitors must fire the 10-yard line in the standing position. You may fire the 15, 20, and 25-yard in the prone position if you choose to do so. At the 10-yard signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 1 round at each target within 6 seconds. The target must be knocked down in order for the score to count. All plates will automatically lock in the upright position when your time is finished.
Get out there. Get out there.
Yep.
It's not raining nearly as bad now as it was earlier.
Yeah.
The line is clear. You may handle your firearms. You may take a sight picture at this time. Please do not dry fire. You may do anything else you need to do to make ready. You may go ahead and load. This is the only command to load you will be given. That is 4, correct. This is the only command to load you will be given. It is your responsibility to maintain a loaded firearm throughout the course of fire. Go ahead and load. We shall start as soon as I see everybody's ready. Shooters ready! Stand by! Okay. Lane 4, check your toes. Check your toes. We're over the line there just a little bit. There you go. Shooters ready! Stand by!
At the 15-yard signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 1 round at each target within 7 seconds.
Okay, let's move back to the 15-yard line. Shooters ready? Stand by! Shooters ready? Stand by!
At the 20-yard signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire one round at each target within 8 seconds.
Okay, line is clear. Let's move back to the 20. Shooters, ready? Stand by. Shooters, ready? Stand by. Okay, let's move back to the 25.
At the 25-yard signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire one round at each target within 9 seconds.
Shooters, ready? Stand by. Shooters, ready? Stand by. Unload and show clear.
All right, you're clear?
Okay.
You're clear?
Go ahead and drop the flight ready to go. Okay, line is clear. Competitors, see care for your score sheets. Good luck with the rest of the event.
The barricade event requires a competitor to shoot 48 rounds at 2 different targets ranging from distances of 10, 15, 25, and 35 yards. There will be 4 6-foot-high, 2-foot-wide barricades that will be placed in line, one directly behind another. Each barricade will have a clearly marked 2-foot-wide by 3-foot-long firing area on the uprange side. The competitor must be within the firing area at commence fire signal, and no portion of the competitor's body or equipment may touch the outside of the firing area until the competitor has finished firing the designated rounds. The barricade will be considered to be within the firing area and may be used as support. There will be 2 targets downrange. One will be placed 3 feet to the left and 3 feet to the right of center line. The starting position will be with the firearm holstered and the palms of both hands on the face of the barricade. The signal will be the turning of the targets preceded by the verbal commands, ready, stand by. A penalty of 10 points will be charged for each premature start, for each procedural error, and for each round fired over the designated number. Penalties for crossfire will be determined from actual scoring of targets as outlined in the NRA Action Pistol Rulebook. All competitors must fire all stages in the standing position. All competitors may use the barricade for support, but no portion of the firearm should rest against the barricade for the metallic or production categories. Competitors will not be permitted to lock onto the barricade. This course will be divided into 4 stages, 2 strings per stage, 6 shots per string, 48 shots in all. All shots will be fired from behind the barricade. At all distances, it's the competitor's choice of whether he wants to fire the left or the right side of the barricade first. At 10 yards, the competitor will choose which side he's firing first, and at the signal to commence fire, he will fire 6 rounds within 5 seconds at that target. At the second signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 6 rounds within 5 seconds from the opposite side of the barricade at the remaining target.
Are we up or not?
Hold your horses.
Okay.
I think so.
Whoa.
Okay, so 3 o'clock squats up right now.
Okay.
So, 263, are you up now?
I think we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
22.
59, 260, 263.
Okay, all right.
Something like that.
Sure. If everybody's ready, let's head on down.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to the barricades. We're happy to have you guys with us today. As soon as we get your targets hung, I'll get you guys holstered and you'll have the opportunity to take an unloaded sight picture here at the 10. I'll then give the command to load and make ready. After that, it's your responsibility to stay hot for the event. Back at the 25, you will get another sight picture, but that one's loaded. Does everybody understand the course of fire? Any questions? No. And there's no dry firing on the range. You may now holster and take your unloaded sight picture. After you've completed your sight pictures, you may load and make ready.
Ready?
Winston, make ready.
All the way on the barricade. Thank you.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by.
At the 15-yard signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 6 rounds within 6 seconds at the first target. At the second signal, he'll fire 6 rounds within 6 seconds at the remaining target. Targets are changed out between the 15 and 25-yard stages.
Shooters ready. Stand by.
In this stage, like all others, if you have a malfunction and you can clear it and fire your rounds fast, it's better to fire them fast and try to get them on target than not fire them at all and know you're going to get zeros.
Stand by.
Moving back to 25 yards, a competitor is given 7 seconds to fire 6 rounds at the first target and 7 seconds for 6 rounds at the second target.
You may now now take your loaded sight picture if you wish. Please keep your finger out of the trigger guard. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by.
At the final 35-yard stage, a competitor is given 8 seconds to fire 6 rounds at the first target and 8 seconds to fire 6 rounds at the second target.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by. Unload and show clear.
All right, thank you.
In the moving target event, a competitor will fire 48 rounds from distance of 10, 15, 20, and 25 yards. The target will move from behind a barricade, traveling 60 feet in 6 seconds, and then disappear behind a second barricade. There will be a clearly marked 3-foot firing square at each stage. The firing square will be at the center of the 60-foot run of the target. The competitor must remain within the firing square for the complete firing sequence. The starting position will be with the firearm holstered and both hands held shoulder high. There will be no audible signals. When the competitor is ready to fire, both hands are raised, and the target will appear and start making its run from one side to the other. There will be a 10-point penalty for any premature start, for each procedural error, for any round that strikes either barricade, and for any round fired over the designated amount. At the 10-yard signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 6 rounds at the target, which moves from right to left. At the second signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 6 rounds at the target, which moves from left to right.
Yeah, one of these days.
Got any questions? No? You take a sight picture if you want.
6, 6, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3.
Is that thing clear?
This? Yeah, you want to check it or?
All right. Take a sight picture and then load and make ready to go.
Okay. Is it starting from this side over here? Okay.
The 15-yard stage is fired in the same shooting sequence as the 10-yard stage. The 20-yard stage is where the shooting sequence changes. At the signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 3 rounds at the target, which moves from right to left. At the second signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 3 rounds at the target, which moves from left to right. The procedure is then repeated one more time. Moving back to the final 25-yard stage, it's shot in the same shooting sequence as the 20-yard stage, where a shooter will have a total of 4 passes of the target.
Good. We're clear.
Yeah, I'll get in there.
What's the word on the mover, man?
Huh?
What's the word? Advice.
No.
Any advice?
Focus, focus, focus.
Don't miss.
Don't miss and focus. The practical event requires a competitor to fire 48 rounds at 2 different targets from ranges of 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. The competitor will stand facing 2 targets downrange. The tops of the targets will be approximately 6 feet high, and the targets will be 3 feet apart edge to edge. The starting position will be with the firearm holstered and both hands held shoulder high in the surrender position. The starting signal will be the turning of the targets, preceded by the verbal commands, ready, stand by. 10-point penalties will be charged for premature starts, procedural errors, as well as for each round fired over the designated number. Also, 10-point penalties will be charged for any round fired while supporting the weak hand or arm during the 3rd segment of the 10-yard stage. Penalties for crossfire will be determined from actual scoring of the targets as outlined in the NRA Action Pistol Rulebook. Competitors must fire the 10-yard segment in the standing position. Competitors may fire the 15, 25, and 50-yard line in the prone position if they choose to do so. The 10-yard stage, at the signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 1 round at each target within a 3-second time period. At the second signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 2 rounds at each target within a 4-second time period. At the third signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 3 rounds at each target with the weak hand only within an 8-second time period. The competitor may use the strong hand to produce and exchange the handgun for this 3rd segment, but all 6 rounds must be fired with the weak hand without support of the arm or hand of any kind.
Lane 4. You may go down when you're ready.
Questions about the course of fire? Okay, the line is clear. You may handle your firearms. Load and make ready. Watch your toes, sir. You just went, there you go. Shooters ready! Stand by! Shooters ready! Stand by!
Oh, wait a minute. 3 and 3?
3 and 3, weekend only.
Wait a minute. I'll go load.
Okay. Shooters ready! Stand by! Okay, back to the 15.
At the first signal to commence fire at the 15-yard stage, the competitor will fire 1 round at each target within a 4-second time period. At the second signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 2 rounds at each target within a 5-second time period. At the third signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 3 rounds at each target within a 6-second time period. There is no weak hand requirement at the 15-yard stage.
Shooters ready! Stand by! Shooters ready! Stand by! Correct. Shooters ready! Stand by! Okay, back to the 25. Arrows change the targets.
I shot twice at one target on one shot. And I done it.
Okay, now it's hot. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Oh, it's hot now.
At the 25-yard stage, at the first signal to commence fire, a competitor will fire 1 round at each target within a 5-second time period. At the second signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 2 rounds at each target within a 6-second time period. At a third signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 3 rounds at each target within a 7-second time period.
Shooters ready! Stand by! Shooters ready! Stand by! Lane 4.
Oh, sorry. I told you
I just don't want you to get your arms
trying to-
tired.
It's the hands up, don't shoot thing.
Okay.
3 and 3, right?
3 and 3. Shooters ready. Stand by.
At the first signal to commence fire at the 50-yard stage, a competitor will fire 1 round at each target within 7 seconds. At the second signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 2 rounds at each target within 10 seconds. And at the third signal to commence fire, the competitor will fire 3 rounds at each target within 15 seconds.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Shooters ready. Stand by.
See, I remembered that time.
147. Okay.
Yes. 3 and 3.
Okay. 147, bro. How can I compete to that?
Shooters ready. Stand by. Unload and show clear. Clear.